What up? What up? Yeah, shout out Kristen Hernandez. You're a legend. Just for chatting in my stream. Drop a like. Like and sub. Trying to build a little community here in my shed. Y'all can't even see I make axes with cross wedges for the Lord Jesus Christ. Because I just started streaming like 4 minutes ago, and also I just started streaming like 4 or 5 days ago, and I've been going live every day. So I just am a small creator right now. This is like only my 5th or 6th live or something like that. Oh, I meant to put this. I gotta turn my Bluetooth off because we're listening to. Oh, maybe we should listen to Candace Owens now that she's on, actually. Would y'all rather listen to Hebrew Israelites debate or the new Candace Owens show?
You said give one scripture. I told you the bad question that I asked.
Drop a sub, subscribe, and put notifications on my channel, and you'll see whenever I go live. I've been live every day since I started going live. Thank you. You're awesome. You rock. You're helping me make it, hopefully, in this world. I think I want to listen to the Candace Owens stuff. Whatever she's previewing. I've got, what's up, Christian Pena. I've got a lot of family in Texas. My mom's whole side of the family's from Texas, Tejas, outside of Houston, in a little town called Alaska. I live in the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina. And for y'all that are new here, the reason I got into making these axes is because thanks, I hope I do too. The weather's great. It's a little warmer than it has been the past couple days, but it's getting chilly, you know. It's 57 degrees right now. Yeah, it's nighttime. It's 7:42. I just got a light on in here. See, it's dark out. Yeah, Texas is tough, man. I don't know if I could survive it. I used to like the heat better than the cold until I moved up into the mountains of North Carolina, and now every time the summer comes, I cannot wait until the winter hits. I don't mind being cold because then I get to wear my big comfy Carhartt jackets. What's everybody up to? Probably eating dinner. I got a pizza inside cooking I probably ought to check on, but I don't eat meat on Fridays, or try not to. So I don't know, go with pizza.
They're going to make it look like she was just a random student. Let me show you a clip because we found this out. I called it out on stage Charlie intercepted. We found what her name was, and I called this girl out on stage. Take a listen. You guys, the last thing that I am going to say, strangely, this is such a crazy story, but as I was headed in here, I got a frantic call from somebody. And they called me and they said, Candace, something very weird is happening. The Daily Wire has sent somebody secretly to record you. An intern, a PR
Well,
intern,
thanks. No worries. No issue if, you know, you stay or go. I'll be here chilling either way. I'm happy to talk about anything or chat, or we can just listen to Candace Owens, which I can put playing right here.
Stood up. Yeah. Okay, maybe that's a little too intimidating for you too, but apparently she got an email at 10 p.m., hopped on a plane, is pretending to be a student. And so I do just want to say to Ben Shapiro.
Kirk stuff. Oh, bummer.
Enough. Come out into the light. Really, come on. Let's do this debate. Stop sending interns to do your dirty work. I don't bite. I'm down for the debate. Charlie Kirk says he will fly you out. He will fly you out next week to Detroit, and we can do the debates on his stage. Thank you, Turning Point USA. Let's take some questions. Oh, you know, the Turning Point USA that I wasn't a part of.
Degrees.
That's how it went down. And Charlie was like, yeah, that's crazy that this is happening. And he's like, call him out on stage and offer the debate, and I will fly him out personally to come debate you on this. But this is how it works, okay? They send people, they make it look like it's organic. They'll send people to your events, and they will have people applaud. That was orchestrated by Alyssa Cordova. Now that she's not at the Daily Wire, I can say that. Who I was calling out yesterday. But it's so important for people to get this. What is happening at Meghan's events, I will guarantee you, people coming and asking her questions and trying to get her to disavow Tucker Carlson, that is not organic, okay? That is pro-Israel people that are paid to do it. Honestly, Meghan, if you're watching, you give me the list of your attendees. I'm assuming this is a ticketed event. I will find people. They'll be from YAF. They will be from some organization. If you let me go through the names, I love an investigation. I will tell you how many people were sent there to go, wow, and roars applaud, actually trying to intimidate you and to force you to take a position and to make you feel uncomfortable because it's a part of that moral blackmail pileup. And so I'm actually genuinely not upset. I don't care. I believe in the free market. I genuinely will say again, I will always debate Ben Shapiro. If Tucker left you on red and you want to come on this show and you want to debate Israel and you want to discuss Erica Kirk and the things I never said, if you want to discuss your relationship with Charlie Kirk, anything that I have said that you would like to dispute, my platform is your platform. I'd say you should come on my platform because my show's bigger now. But we could also do yours. So hit me up. We'll be right back after a brief break. All right, you guys, I've been speaking a lot about Riverbend Ranch because you guys know I love their steaks. Black Angus beef that is famous for its great flavor. Riverbend Ranch has taken Black Angus beef to a whole new level because over the last 35 years, Riverbend Ranch has been creating an elite Angus herd by using ultrasound to select genetically superior cattle with a focus on flavor and tenderness. Each year, Riverbend Ranch provides about 850 elite Black Angus bulls containing special genetics to over 260 western U.S. ranches. Those partnership ranches receive a substantial premium from Riverbend Ranch to raise those calves without the use of growth hormones and without antibiotics. And every fall, calves containing these elite genetics from Riverbend Ranch to spend the following summer in lush mountain pastures. So when you purchase from Riverbend Ranch, you're not only supporting the 64 cowboys and their families who work on that ranch, but you're also supporting over 260 other U.S. ranches and the hundreds of American families who work on those ranches as well. It's born in the USA, raised in the USA, processed right here in the USA. The meat is aged to perfection for 21 days, and then it's shipped directly from their ranch to your home. This is not your average Black Angus beef. This is more flavorful and more tender than even the best Angus beef that I've ever tasted. What up? Right now, shout out to Tyrone. riverbendranch.com and use promo code Candace.
Throw me a like if you can, Taryn.
$20 off your first order, and trust me, you're going to be so impressed. So visit riverbendranch.com and use promo code Candace at checkout.
That's not a good angle over there, and I'm not close enough to the phone.
Waiting until later is just
hell yeah.
we are already living in the later. later, you should consider adding
We're
gold
listening to
your
the new
financial strategy,
Candace
and I'll tell you
Owens
why.
show.
Because when
She's on the
economies
ad right
wobble,
now.
currencies can lose their value and markets can get scared. Gold does not always follow suit.
Thanks for the
Having some
like.
gold
Hell
means that
yeah.
you're not 100% dependent on one system.
This is what I make.
Solid.
I do cross
for later.
WUz
I teach my kids the
JoOz.
value of preparing and protecting and planning. They'll carry that mindset forward. Gold is one piece of that story. I'm not saying that you
Just
should
finished
dump
making one on
everything into
stream.
gold. That
This
would be
one
as
actually
misguided
a
as
couple
sticking
days
gold
ago.
in stocks. Smart, intentional, balanced investing is where I reach
Since
my own
I
money.
have
Now, if you're
started
thinking, Candace,
streaming
I'm
every
worried
day.
about
Since I
retirement, I'm
started
worried about the
streaming, I've
economy, I'm
streamed
worried about
every day.
kicking myself
Yeah,
later,
you
then
can
this is
look
a little
at.
nudge. Here's what
You can
should
look
do.
on my
Visit
channel
CandaceLikesGold.com
and
to get
see.
your free
I
2025 gold and silver kit.
make all of my lives public after I do them, so you can see that. I think I started like 5 or 6 days ago, and I've streamed every day since. Usually in the evenings, but sometimes in the daytime too. I think my first stream was like in the morning and it popped off. I'm glad that you see me, that I actually pop up in people's feed, because I don't know, it'd be awesome to have a community here, build a little channel, and you know, maybe people start ordering axes from me, like Buck and Billy Ray does. He just builds axes for people and cuts trees on the side. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. But I just add listening to whatever podcast I'm listening to at the time to the title as well.
Elle Reeve is her name, and I'm going to also be clear. I got very testy in this interview because it was a couple of days after Charlie was killed. First interview I was giving, just worked out that it was CNN. It wasn't about Charlie Kirk, but we had set this up before.
Nomine Patris et Filii Spiritus Sancti, in nomine Yeshu, Amen. Blessings. Thank you for being subbed.
She's the one passing around this
Thanks,
clip
bro.
because she thinks it totally embarrasses me and shows
I'd like to think I'm a cool guy.
You can criticize Netanyahu without being anti-Israel.
It's kind of hard to meet folks, new
being
folks
anti-Semitic.
these days.
But
Really got to be a organic situation. Otherwise, it's just been
It's very unsettling for me to hear things
everything
like
else.
you saying,
Because, see, I grew up in a different city.
Trump is occupied by Zionists, we're an occupied nation.
Hell yeah. You're certainly welcome here.
There's literally a term.
I grew up in a different city and, like, you know, went to high school and
It's their idea that
had all my social status.
Are you intentionally referencing those kind of things?
Yeah, of course. I give you a shout out all the time.
Are you accusing me of
Taryn Schaus.
Because I do have to have a little bit of a giggle about
Taryn
that.
Schaus is the homie. You might even make it to moderator if you're here every day.
It's silly. But this is one of the things where I feel like it's such a lesson for CNN. This is why nobody watches it anymore. I mean, it's like you're sitting across from
I'm surprised my one guy that I made a moderator isn't here. He's been in every stream. He's been my one go hard fan. But hell, I got 11 people right today. And I'm not even making an act like I was before.
This might be the end of the road.
You give them so easy.
She inspired a nation to believe.
How does it feel to be the richest little girl in America?
Inspired by a true story.
Why do you want me to put my hoodie on inside out?
God gave me that land for a reason.
That's an odd question.
But what I will say is I stand by.
I'm gonna pin that.
By every statement that I made, and I want to double down on it. Okay, America is occupied by Zionism. Triple down on that. If there's anybody going.
Pin your hoodie on inside
These
out.
tactics are super boring.
Just, well, give me a good reason and maybe I will. You saying it's because I don't work? I don't work, I can't wear Carhartt?
Lost the argument on the there is no merit to your argument anymore. So
a shed full of axes and chainsaws that says otherwise.
Semantics. And then she moves on to
and a
they.
pair of boots that definitely say
When
otherwise.
we were just allowed to use the word they in sentences, nobody said, "What do you mean by that?" Several times, she just, "What do you mean by they?" As if she didn't understand how to construct a basic sentence and to refer back to
Damn.
now. She had no idea which.
But you can't give me a reason before?
I was not really in the mood, and here is our conversation.
And what if I undo it?
They is a word, so like I don't need to.
I don't think I can sell out for that little. I think you'd have to cash out me for that. Maybe if you hit the cash out.
Does the word they mean Jews? When you're talking
Torah.
about Jews.
Tehran.
But if I'm not talking about Jews, then they doesn't mean Jews. When I say they want us to believe this or they want us to believe that, and you
Tehran.
Jews, that's your own derangement, right? If I want to say something about Jews, I'll say it. If I want to say something about Israel, I will say it. If I want to say something about black people, I'll say it.
Which one sounds better?
They want us to believe. Nobody said, "Do you mean Jews?" And so again, it's one of these trash tactics to make people fearful to speak.
Which pronunciation of the two is better? One, okay, the second one.
Zionists run the
Tehran.
media. I mean, Zionists run the media. People that support the political ideology of Israel run the media. Any other things that I can help clarify?
But are you
Tehran.
familiar with this like very long-standing trope that Jews
Tehran Shells. That's a unique name. I have a fairly unique name myself.
But I just felt like
I'm not sure if I should put it out there. I guess I could put my Shell. That's the name I go by. SHEL, just Shell. And it's my real. It's not just a made up name.
I'm teaching my toddlers how to read, and here I am. I'm teaching her how to understand they in a sentence. That's a place. What are we doing? How old is this person? And she says she's seen me just meet. I'm going. You missed
It's in the broom. It's an axe.
You don't know what they means, and now you're just
I don't want to put my hoodie inside out, dude.
Okay, just shut it
You
down
gotta
immediately. Embrace whatever
cash
you're going
at
to
me
be
like
called.
$200 and I'd do that.
Circumstance, if I gotta be called a white supremacist,
This is a new hoodie, actually.
to say my opinion about this administration and how it's been occupied by Zionists and the cruelties that the Palestinian children are suffering at the hands of Bibi Netanyahu, and so be it. Don't encourage you guys to cuss. Like I said, it was a couple days after Chocolate died, and I just was not in the mood. But I do encourage you guys to defend yourselves in a similar manner. Now, in that same vein, in case you guys missed this going around, Eric and Laura Trump spoke at a recent TPUSA event in person, and it's a different era, okay? The post-Charlie Kirk era at Turning Point USA, my guess after watching this is people are going to be less inclined to want to attend these events, and I'm speaking about the guests like Eric and Laura Trump, because they are getting pressed now by students about Israel. Take a listen.
I'd like to ask about your father's.
That's just an odd. You still haven't given me a reason, like any good reason for it, or why you want me to do it. So I have no incentive. Plus, I'm probably just not going to do it for you. I'll keep talking to you about it to have something to chat about. I actually appreciate the comments.
Clear when he cursed on national TV over the situation. Israel has not been a great ally to the U.S. all the way since 1960 when they bombed the USS Liberty. Israel is a nation where Christians are constantly under attack in both Gaza and the West Bank. We talk about America first and defending Christians. But how can we do
You gotta hit the cash app with like $200 for that, dude. I don't need money that bad.
There's no question my father's
Or
frustration,
like
in fact, I think he said frustration throughout the whole conflict with both sides. At the
which
same time,
eventually
make no
equates
mistake,
to money.
you have a nation that is chanting
it'd be
death
cool.
to America every single day on the streets of Tehran. You have a nation that will develop a nuclear weapon, and you have a nation that will use that nuclear weapon against the Western way of life. There's no question about it.
In response to the nukes from Iran, Israel
No. I'm not even talking. You don't want me to put my hoodie inside on out. Why would you
sad to see because
send the money anyway? You're
the
Gucci.
American president get treated the way he does by the
You're
Israel
part of the squad.
Here's what I'll add. Do we or do we not have phase one of a peace agreement in the Middle East right now?
Who's trying to
Nothing is ever going to be perfect, but I'll tell you
all
what,
right.
this president
I'll catch
works
you on
with
the
what
flip.
he has.
Tehran.
He believes in peace,
Be
through
safe.
strength,
Nomine
and whether we're talking about in the Middle East, whether we're talking about a 40-year war like Armenia and Azerbaijan, as Eric just pointed out, a 5-day war in Thailand and Cambodia. This is a president of peace.
I don't know. It's lost its edge, right? Like MAGA's over. You just know it's over. It's just over. And I say this, by the way, and I'm always very honest with you about how people are behind the scenes. Eric and Laura have always been unbelievably kind to me. I have nothing bad to say about them as human beings. Laura works very hard.
I'll never forget that
and
name.
Eric, by the way, works very hard. Running the Trump organization. Certainly, while his father has to go and be president, he took over. But they know they're not telling the truth, right? They know they're not telling the truth. The kids are now awake. They know.
I gotta go check a pizza, guys. I'll be back.
Deals with Ivanka in the Middle East and how much money they're set to make, and Gaza destroyed is actually beneficial to their bank accounts. It just is. And do you think these kids, and the fact that he was ready to answer about the nuclear, that's always the threat of the nuclear, and that used to work. Like Generation 9/11, that worked. It doesn't work anymore because we realize there's only one nation that isn't following any rules. There's only one nation that isn't respecting America. There's only one nation that generations of American children, American men are being told they have to die for in foreign lands. So at the benefit of what nation? Not America. If America, throughout all these wars, was not in a steep decline, and actually we walked around and our streets were clean and we didn't have any homelessness and people were not on drugs, we probably would go, okay, like, we're up to no good in the Middle East, but at least look at this country. It's shining. It's amazing. What's our upside? Our upside is we get to get lectured and told that we're not even allowed to bring up Israel on college campuses or risk being arrested. Getting stricter on anti-Semitism laws. Now you're coming in for our speech and you thought that this generation was going to get behind it because what, Bibi bought TikTok? The hypocrisy is astounding, and you can't survive hypocrisy. So unfortunately, I think 4 years ago, everyone thought, who's going to be the next Trump family member that's going to get into politics and galvanize the youth movement? It's done. Dead on arrival now. And it's because you guys went for broke on Israel. So, whatever the real estate plan is in Gaza, that's going to be the Trump legacy, I suppose. And to be honest, that wouldn't be the legacy that I'd want to have, because people are not going to forget what happened there. Your children's children are probably going to feel ashamed, to be honest with you, that you were involved in it and that you defended it, or that you stayed quiet about it because of money. People are paying you to do those things. Anyways, you guys, I think that's enough. We're going to take a quick little break before I answer some of your questions. All right, you guys, it is officially cold and flu season, which means it's also flu shot season. After everything that we've been through over the past 5 years, the number of people that are getting that flu shot is at a record low. Not to mention the fact that according to the CDC's own data, the flu shot is only moderately effective at best, and that's not even accounting for vaccine injuries. There is, of course, a much better way to stay healthy. Grab a contagion emergency kit from the Wellness Company. If you wake up with a sore throat or a runny nose, you can address those symptoms immediately with a doctor-prescribed kit containing ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, generic Z-Pack, and there's so much more as well. It's like having an urgent care center in your own home. I have a contagion emergency kit from the Wellness Company because I refuse to be trapped in line at an emergency room or rely on expensive insurance if I catch a cold. Simply open the kit, reference the doctor-written guidebook for safe use, and get back to life. The kit is a lifesaver, a time saver. Got thousands of reviews from people just like you and me who had their kit ready in a time of need. So go to twc.health/Candace today and use code Candace to save $48. Get it now before cold and flu season kicks into high gear. Again, that's twc.health/Candace, code Candace for $48 off. Kits are only available to U.S. residents. Also reminding you about American financing because the Fed just dropped interest rates again, and that's great news for American homeowners. If you're feeling overwhelmed thinking about the upcoming holidays, there is no better time than right now to get your finances in order. It's hard to think about the holidays when everything's expensive and your credit cards are already pushed to the max. With rates dropping, now is the time to think about paying off that debt. American Financing is helping homeowners access the equity in their home for instant savings. They are saving people just like you an average of $800 a month, and many are seeing rates in the low fives. That's a complete game changer compared to those sky-high credit cards. And if you start today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments, giving you extra breathing room for the holidays. It costs absolutely nothing to find out how much you could be saving. The holidays are going to be here before we know it, so don't wait. Call their salary-based mortgage consultants today. Call American Financing at 800-795-1210. Again, that's 800-795-1210. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net/Owens. That's AmericanFinancing.net/Owens. All right, jumping into some of your comments here. RN Explorer writes, why can't Tucker interview Fuentes? Ben is upset with Tucker for this. I have seen this kind of immaturity in high school between teenage girls. I'm mad at her because she's talking to the girl that I don't like. Ben, please stop. I agree. There is something fundamentally high school about it. It's so weird. And I think they truly thought this was it. Like, I know it's every week they renew their efforts to cancel Tucker, but I think they thought they had him. Like, this was really going to be it. And of course, it always backfires because people go, how immature? Why can't Nick Fuentes tell a story? I don't understand it. I'm not offended by anybody sitting down with Nick Fuentes. And I think everybody should be in the free markets. If Nick Fuentes loses in the free markets, I want it to be because there was better competition, not because he's just been artificially pushed out. That's the only way that works. Otherwise, it's immature. It just is immature, and it's whiny too. Katie Rabian writes, missing Charlie extra today. We all deserve the truth no matter how awful it is. Please never stop fighting for our brother in Christ. You are in our prayers. May God bless and protect you, Candace. I don't care at all about Ben trying to join people. It's almost like they're trying to peer pressure me. Like there's like this threat, like they want me to say something bad about Erica because they want me to stop investigating it, which is making me feel weird that it's always the pro-Israel lobby that's doing this. People that weren't friends with Charlie, okay, are trying to struggle session us into no longer investigating what happened here in order for us to get a clean bill of health of not attacking a widow. It's like, oh, well, if you investigate, then you're attacking Erica. It's a nonsense. It makes me think that there's something there, right? Like, what are they so afraid of? Why is the pro-Israel lobby in particular so afraid of any incursion into the absurd storyline that the feds are trying to tell us about Charlie Kirk, right? It reeks of desperation, and desperation only exists when there's something to hide, and Israel has not been acting right from the beginning of this. We know that. We know Israel has not been acting right. We didn't do it immediately. It wasn't us. Oh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird that you're just jumping up and saying that it wasn't you. Amber Lee Fraz writes, let's not forget that he would be the one to pick up his bloodstained microphone. That is right. Ben did say that right after Charlie died. And even that, it was just for me, knowing what was between them, it was just a lot for me to process. I was going through so many emotions that week. I was so angry. He was initial in the reaction to Charlie's death. It is obvious that he has an agenda. Look, everyone in politics has an agenda of some description. I'm not clear on what Ben's is, but I sense a tremendous insecurity because it is not a good step to lie like that. Okay, and he knew I didn't say it. There's not a chance that he thought that I said Seth Dillon murdered Charlie Kirk or Erica Kirk murdered Charlie Kirk. So he's showing his fear, and also, like I said, I think he wanted to effectively bully Megyn Kelly into a position, and she's trying to come up for air, and she's like, wow, people are cheering this on. Maybe Candace really did say this. Maybe she did accuse Erica. That would be horrible. And good for her for not taking the bait and changing the subject instead because she wasn't certain that I had said it. Melissa writes, Candace, as a black woman, you handled that interview perfectly. If anybody was embarrassing, it was her, who, by the way, appeared to be on drugs. Something was off. It was given, wine-drunk mom. Did you used to watch Hey Arnold, like Helga Pataki's mom? Yeah. For those of you who use a very specific reference, but if you got it, you got it. It was giving Helga Pataki's mom. We watched such serious cartoons when we were growing up. Tom Simpson writes, are we sure Fuentes being pushed isn't as an op to smear the anti-Israel dissident right by association? I don't think he's not it, but persona non grata. Pods in the same. Look, when I did him, gosh, annually, I just wanted to have reacted and lied about how we treated him, and that made he wasn't up because that's weird. We were nice to you. We spoke to you behind the scenes. We planned the interview, what we're going to name the interview, and he was very theatrical. So I don't trust it. And that's up. You know.
My kitty decided to join us. Down to 0 views. That's alright. What up, yo? My phone died. We were listening to Candace Owens. Stay in here with Daddy. Nothing can kill you. You gotta stay where nothing can kill you, baby.
You've probably heard Catholics call Mary the co-redemptrix, but in 2025 the Vatican said, stop using that title. Not because it's false, but because it's confusing. Here's the truth. The church absolutely teaches that Mary cooperated in salvation. She said yes to the incarnation in Luke 1:38. She suffered with Christ at the cross in John 19:25-27. She is called our mother in the order of grace in the Catechism, paragraph 968. But there is only one Redeemer, Jesus Christ. 1 Timothy 2:5 says, there is one mediator between God and man. The title co-redemptrix can sound like Mary is equal to Christ. She isn't. She's completely dependent on his grace, just like us. That's why the 2025 Vatican document, Mater Populi Fidelis, discouraged the term. It recommended clearer titles like Mother of the Redeemer or Spiritual Mother of the Redeemed. Mary's role is unique, but it always points to Jesus. She magnifies the Lord, not herself. Just like she said in Luke 1:46. If you want to understand the full teaching on this and what
Buy local. It supports the local economy. Hal Rowe here from Bargain Basement Home Center with a 4.9 review rating, huge inventory, products tested at their facility locally, and a first responders discount.
To launch a parade the day that you leave. So he got re-election though. Isn't that fascinating? And neighboring Dearborn Heights as well. So that's a fascinating thing, isn't it? Yeah, so that's a real issue. Okay. Holton's about to cut his hair. Go ahead on, bro. Good. All right. Let's see the news review of the discussion. It was an engaging convo. Person did a good job. So I agree completely. A lot of people are so hard on Lecrae. We don't have to agree with everybody on everything, but I feel like Lecrae is an honest guy trying to do honest labor in a lot of different spaces. And ultimately, he's contributed for good in so many ways. Do I agree with every step? No, he doesn't need...
I had made a more lighthearted version of this video, but a couple people in the comment section let me know what type of man Mr. Sheriff Grady Judd really is.
Shit.
And so now I'm going to be going a lot harder in this one.
Grady
It wasn't on my bingo
Judd
card to be
expose.
beefing with one of the largest police counties, Sheriff Grady Judd. You guys definitely have seen him before. Here's a popular clip of him.
I got their drip. I got their body. We got their guns. We got their dope.
But here we are today. So, if you guys don't know what's going on, back in around early October, we had done what we usually do, done an investigation where we had caught a predator. And that predator admitted everything to the officers, but then when Sergeant Knapp came on scene, he decided to escalate the situation, resulting into a culmination of him just dropping the hard R.
But you're going about this whole thing wrong, dude. Nigga, you just fucking told me when I was standing right here, you said, call me a nigger now? No, yeah. Whoa! That's exactly what you just said. I did not.
What he said is that you called him a nigger, and he repeated it. He said, are you calling me a nigger?
Nigga. God.
What's the difference?
Now, we posted that segment on Instagram, TikTok, all the social medias, and it went completely viral. And then we just recently dropped the full context version here on YouTube. And out of all of this, when we first dropped it on social media, Mr. Grady Judd, he never wanted to reply. He never wanted to say anything. All they did was just turn off their comment section on all their videos. But now that we dropped the full context on YouTube, they finally decided to respond. And instead of responding on their social media page, where they literally post every single day, clear the air about it today. But before we got the man that Grady Judd is, there is a new case that's happening and coming out right now where a woman is suing not only the Polk County Sheriff's Office, but also the Polk County Sheriff, Grady Judd, because when she was victimized and abused, now, the Polk County Investigation Unit did a lousy job investigating it, and they claim that she made a false police report. So they not only returned her to her abuser, but they also an apology letter to said man. Now, with her being back with her course, because these dudes never learn, the man continued abusing her. And it wasn't until she had to sadly get video to office, it wasn't until then that they finally charged the man, and he is now convicted for that abuse of her. And she is rightfully suing this police department.
Corey abused her between the ages of 9 and 13. The first time charged with giving false information to a law enforcement officer.
Law enforcement, the whole goal is safety and protection. And in this case, it was the antithesis of that.
When she was assaulted again, Taylor Cadle took pictures and video, which led to Henry Cadle's arrest and conviction. Taylor Cadle's charges were dropped. Now, she is suing members of the sheriff's office on several counts, including malicious prosecution and failure to train, supervise, and discipline.
I feel some sort of relief to fight for what I believe in and what I think is right.
In response to the lawsuit, a spokesperson for the Polk County Sheriff's Office called it frivolous, saying, quote, "In this case, our deputies did an extensive investigation and made deliberate and rational decisions based upon the information and evidence we had at the time."
Now, that statement went on to say the Sheriff's Office looks forward to, quote, "vigorously defending against these baseless and fabricated allegations." The two named deputies in the lawsuit are still employed at the Sheriff's Office as a detective and as a lieutenant. Josh?
Now, I say all that to turn it around to come to today, because we have an individual who invited a very, very young girl over to his house. And Mr. Grady Judd is doing the same thing he did in previous times. He has completely failed the community of Polk County, not holding his officers accountable, but also, and more grievously, letting a predator stay amongst the people of Polk County. Keep in mind, we posted the video of what Sergeant Knapp said all the way back in October 17th on social media, but there was no reply from the Polk County Sheriff's Office. I guess, the heat wasn't hot enough. So finally, when we dropped the full context video on YouTube, Grady Judd finally decided to reply, but instead of, condemning what his officer said and promising to bring this predator to justice, he decides to double down. In a statement he made on his personal YouTube channel, Sheriff Grady Judd says, "You hit the comment we posted telling the truth on your first inflammatory video." That video he's referring to is me posting what his sheriffs said on camera. And the funny thing about it is, I would tell them, hey, if you want to put out there, what your officer said, drop the body cam footage. But for one of the biggest police agencies in America, for some reason, they do not have body cameras. And, obviously, when you catch them on video saying stuff like this, since they don't have body cameras, they know they're safe. But they thought I was just a lowly YouTuber with only 12 subscribers. Here, I'm going to go live.
12 followers?
12 million.
You know who your sheriff is?
Do I know who your sheriff is? And do you know how bad you guys gotta look for not doing anything about a child predator?
You're recording video right now.
But now that they're figuring out that we have 12 million total subscribers, they're changing their tune a whole lot. As long as you're getting the attention and money you're seeking, that's what matters to you. No, Mr. Grady Judd, what matters to me is you guys doing a thorough investigation and actually charging a predator. But since your guys' track record is horrendous and you guys would rather people write an apology letter and then actually turn in the video of them being abused, I guess we don't meet the criteria for this being a crime that I'm over here craving the attention and money. When you're the same man who gets on social media at your old age, over here just gloating and just reveling in the attention that you're getting.
You see, we got you gold. We put your tail in the county jail. Think about that, brothers.
Under Sheriff Judd's direction, our agency has put more predators away in the last year than most law enforcement agencies do in 10 years. Well, bravo, Mr. Judd, bravo. I am very happy that your agency is able to put away so many predators. I mean, bro, that was trying to report her own stepfather abusing her. You turned her away, and she had to get further abused and then obtain video evidence for you to then prosecute said man. I mean, Yeah, I mean, you guys are doing a great job. You guys are doing such a great job that the predator that we caught is still out at large within the community. So I guess, you want to keep the same formula you did for that last case, and you got to wait for him to actually do something to a little girl and get some video. Oh, and she also has to get video documentation of it. Then you're gonna, do something about it and prosecute him. Are you gonna make that girl write an apology letter as well if she doesn't have video documentation? I'm just asking. We work with Chris Hansen as well because he understands the law and how to do this the proper way and not the vigilante way. Wow, man, you work with Chris Hansen. Okay, you know what? I gotta just delete this video, delete my YouTube channel because he works with the Chris Hansen. You know what? I'm gonna spoil the whole facade around Chris Hansen, right? Now, before I do that, I just want to give props on one thing. We wouldn't be doing what we do if it wasn't for Chris Hansen. He pioneered all of this. But the thing that's different with Chris Hansen and us is Chris Hansen, he is a glorified Make-A-Wish kid. And what I mean by that is the police department's set up and everything, and literally all Chris Hansen does is on the day of the shoot, he puts his makeup on, comes out and hits his catchphrase, "Why don't you have a seat for me?" Boom, bada boom, collects his check and go home. There is no operation that the Polk County Sheriff Office has ever done that would not have been successful if Chris Hansen hadn't been there. You cannot sit up and lie to people like that. He is just there for the ride, for the publicity, for you guys, and for himself. Now, granted, he is doing a great thing, blasting these dudes all over, national TV and everything. I'm not going to condemn him on that. But the fact that you guys are out here lying to the people saying that Chris Hansen knows how to follow the law when all he's doing is just tagging along with you guys is literally like doing a freaking buddy cop ride. That's literally all they're doing. We're putting in all the legwork, so all the detective has to do is sit down for 3 hours max, watch the video footage, read the chat logs, boom, bada boom, case closed. But since October, beginning of October, yet we are in the month of November, and Mr. James Siegel has not been criminally charged yet. Grady Judd, what do I have to do to get you guys to charge us, man, with talking to a child? Way, not the vigilante way, but one of my good friends and someone that I work a lot with, Mr. Alex Rosen, he isn't part of law enforcement, but yet he has an arrest in your guys' county. So make it make sense. Why does he have an arrest in your guys' county? He's not in law enforcement. Quote unquote, he's a vigilante, but you guys are gonna charge his bread. But this guy literally admitted on scene that yes, that was him talking to that kid. But you still haven't put out more charges on this. You guys still haven't done any apology or address the elephant in the room of what your guys' officers are saying. But yet you can just drop a comment on my YouTube channel saying I'm dropping inflammatory comments and inflammatory videos. Grady Judd, you are the biggest fraud I have ever come across. And sadly, I don't respect you as a man at all. And I don't think the people of Polk County should respect you either. I mean, obviously you don't care about your officers dropping hard R. I mean, right after the officer Sergeant Knapp dropped the hard R, he got a promotion the next day. Wait, that's the wrong quote. And for legal reasons, that's a joke. So, Mr. Judd, because I'm not going to call you sheriff, because a sheriff wouldn't act the way you are. I'm going to hold your report. Since you love the camera, come onto my platform. We will do a live discussion addressing everything that you have against me and everything that I have against you. And the people can see for themselves. And if you think I'm so up and high and mighty and only doing this for views and everything, expose me for the fraud that I am live. This is going to be the biggest platform you'll ever have. So if you're man enough, take the offer. And if you're also live, this is going to
it's kind of choppy. Oh shit, it's kind of laggy, huh? It's choppy. look laggy on here. Damn, man. It sucks. There, now it's better.
I think if we had more volume, I think we would definitely start taking advantage of it more. And we've utilized it in ways as well over the last few years where
Need you to get to the Lord. They
Right.
like you're just here to.
Please bro, man, I hate this guy, bro. No, I mean, that man, bro, he's right, man.
Nugget in the house with a super sticker.
Damn, how are these people getting more than me? That's crazy.
now everyone gets to see what you are because you're saying something that never happened. So we'll start with what he said about Tucker Carlson. You should know Ben has a real thing for Tucker Carlson. I don't understand it. It is just, I don't know, it's been going on for a long time. There's something about Tucker Carlson that gets under his skin. I'm not clear on it. I would actually love to hear Ben speak about that. I mean, people at the Daily Wire, when they're leaving the Daily Wire, have to sign agreements that they're not going to go work for Tucker Carlson for 6 months. It's strange. Anyways, he jumps into this explaining his upset that like Tucker left him on red. I don't know. Tucker and him had a nice conversation on the day that Charlie Kirk died, and Tucker then sent a nice text because Ben had called him, and I guess Ben thought there would be more of a follow-up, and there wasn't. So here is Ben complaining about that and then spinning it into the accusation that Tucker Carlson somehow supports Mom Donnie. I don't know. Take a listen.
I texted him and I said, "Thanks so much for calling. It means the world. It truly does. Should we do a show together talking about the DSA threat, Democratic Socialist America threat, and orienting in the same direction? Happy to do whatever it takes to bring everyone back together for the fight that matters." And Tucker then wrote back, "Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. I'm going to spend the next week or two thinking about how to be most effective. The country is clearly on the brink." I reached out repeatedly after that. Nothing happened. And again, I thought it was a good idea at the time. I think I felt differently after I saw what he did with Nick Fuentes, and after he proceeded, in my opinion, to spend the subsequent weeks doing literally nothing to fight the left. I say this with sadness because Tucker used to be, I think, a deeply important part of the conservative push to win. The number of times that Tucker Carlson has mentioned Zoran Mamdani since October 5th on his show is once. And it was in the context of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson talking about the appeal of Zoran Mamdani. Just by way of contrast, not because I'm a perfect representative here, but because you talk about Zoran Mamdani a lot. A lot of us have. Since October 5th, I did 17 separate shows on Zoran Mamdani, including 4 in the last week before the election. Okay, because when you're orienting against the left, you really should orient against the left.
So this just makes no sense. It makes entirely no sense. He's upset because I guess Tucker doesn't want to do a show with him in the future. A lot of stuff goes on in the background that you guys don't understand. So, okay, that's on Tucker. If Tucker doesn't want to collab with Ben, that's on him. Also, it's Tucker's platform. So what it means when you have your own show, which I don't know why the shock's been, is you can talk about whatever you want. Tucker wants to do 6 months and he just wants to cover sports. It's his prerogative, and people can tune in or they can tune out. That's what the free markets mean. The free markets does not mean that the very same people who tried to artificially push Tucker out of the markets, the same people that applauded him being fired, the same people that have called him an anti-Semite, then get to dictate what he speaks about on his show. That actually just makes entirely no sense. It's not Tucker's responsibility. Tucker doesn't live in New York City. It's not his responsibility to use his platform to speak about Mamdani 17 times. It's very strange. But to the insinuation that Tucker somehow supported Mamdani and said like nice things about him when he sat down with Marjorie Taylor Greene, here's actually what Tucker said with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and you be the judge of whether you think Ben is being an honest person when he describes it in the manner that he just did. Take a listen to Tucker.
It's interesting. You said a second ago that when people are really frustrated when the system they live under fails them, they listen to voices that they shouldn't listen to or wouldn't listen to under any other circumstance. Like, how did Al Sharpton get to be the leader of Black America or whatever? I mean, it's like, it's a thing. Desperate people tend to go to crappy leaders, I think. And I just can't get over what happened in our biggest city this week, the very same week that everybody in D.C. is focused thousands of miles away on the greatest threat we face, Iran's nuclear program. I don't want Iran to have the bomb. I'm not pro-Iran, obviously.
No, we're not pro-Iran.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to say it?
No, right. It's dumb. But at the same time that everybody was looking to Iran, our largest city had a Democratic primary, effectively the mayor's race, and a 32-year-old socialist who wants government run grocery stores gets like he's going to likely run our biggest city.
Yeah.
In the country. New York. And it's like, why did that happen? It's because people are so like desperate for government run grocery stores or both socialism or both like foreign-born nitwits running their cities. Probably not. That guy was the only person in the New York City mayor's debate to say he wanted to focus on New York City. They were all the candidates were asking if they were going to go up and pay and they were and he's already said Israel, great. And he said, I wouldn't go anywhere. I would stay in New York. When I meet Jewish constituents, I go to their synagogues or homes or whatever, but I'd be here in New York because that's what I'm doing. I'm running New York. That's my job.
Well, he gave the right answer.
He gave the right answer.
Yeah.
He gave the right answer at least. And he's talking. I totally oppose his program.
Absolutely.
I think it works, but he's talking through otherwise. Everyone else is talking about foreign policy.
So he said what I said. I'm describing to you why Mamdani won, and you're angry that you are assessing why that happened. It doesn't matter how many times you call somebody anti-Semite. People appreciate it, and it's very obvious the fact that he was not focused on foreign policy issues, and there's so many domestic ones to prove from. You got to learn why you lose elections, and it's not Tucker's job to get people elected, least of all in cities that he doesn't live in. Now, I want to also show you what Ben said about me, because it's so outrageous and so dishonest that you actually should process what is happening. Okay? This is a watershed moment. Ben does not have it together. He's very insecure, and he's going on the attack against Megyn Kelly by lying about what I said and then forcing her to react to the evil of what I never said. Here's what Ben said.
We're in a business where people comment on what we say publicly. But, again, this is why, I think you and I differ on our angle with regard to, for example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil. What she's
Alright, I'm going to cut this live, but I'm going to do a new one after this.
Because like, I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business?